It's time for some seasonal videos. We're going to be talking about Advent and Christmas at the Bruderhof because for us, this season rivals only Easter as the most important in the year. It's when we focus on the meaning of Jesus coming as God incarnate and how that needs to affect us in the here and the now.
And it's also an extremely celebratory time when we'll gather often in the evenings with everyone, children, young people, older members, to read passages from the Bible, listen to classic Christmas stories, sing Christmas carols, or just eat and drink and enjoy one another's company. All of these are important. Now, of course, some things, sadly, will have to change this year because of COVID, but I'm sure in some way the spirit will persist, will continue.
Absolutely, because I think it's just irrepressible.
It is.
And it's just making me smile thinking about it.
I'm extremely excited.
This time of year is also when the German heritage of the Bruderhof is probably most obvious, with influences from the Lutheran background of Eberhard and Emmy Arnold. We start thinking about Christmas probably earlier than most people, I would say. Would you agree?
I would say. Mm-hmm.
And that starts with the 100 Days Until Christmas tradition, which starts on September 16th. But we'll talk about that and other traditions in a future video. Right now, we want to talk about the importance to us of the time of Advent, the weeks leading up to Christmas, which is a time of great expectation.
Yes, it is. And there are people we turn to, people we read from, and one of these is Alfred Delp, who was a Jesuit priest in Germany who was imprisoned by the Nazis and executed in 1945. And he wrote this piece while he was in prison about Advent and about how people often live with a sense of false confidence in human progress, scientific, technological, social, perceived and real, when in actual fact, world events and the endless human suffering we see around us should actually teach us just the opposite. Advent is a time when these false securities, we should recognize that they are false and recognize that there are thousands of things in our own lives and in the world around us that are not as they should be. And that's why the coming of Jesus is so important. So as individuals and as a civilization, we're actually quite limited, and we do need divine intervention in our lives. And Advent is a time to be conscious of that fact and then experience that reaching down from above in the here and now.
That's a really great way of framing it, but for me, Advent is also a time of expectation that is looking forward. I think there's a pretty strong human tendency to nostalgia, to looking backward at history, either at our own lives or at events in world history. And so while Christmas, we remember the coming of Jesus to this world, during Advent, we look forward both to Christmas, but also Jesus' second coming or his return. And of course, we'll always remain connected to the past, and our patrimony is important, but as Paul writes in Philippians 3, the goal is in front of us. We need to forget what is behind in the sense of it preoccupying us and actively reach forward to what is ahead. We need to live in hope for the future. As Eberhard Arnold writes, this hope in what is coming also assures us that the social justice of the future and the purity of heart and fellowship of the future is effective now through Jesus. It can happen among people who are gathered and love one another.
Right. And that's why we're actually living in community, and that's why we love this time of year, because it gives our gathering a real sense of purpose, that something from the future we can participate in something from the future and something exciting that's of God's future. Looking forward to the season of Advent, we'll be posting a video here every week reflecting, like Doreen said, on different Bruderhof Christmas traditions and different things that are important for us at Christmas. But this will all be leading up to a grand finale closer to Christmas. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
I'd love to. I'm really looking forward to it because in lieu of singing carols together with the neighborhood and you all coming to join us for that, that's not a possibility because of the awful coronavirus. So what we're hoping to do is live stream an event that's mainly focused on singing, but also dramatic readings or poetry, maybe interpretive dance, not sure yet. But that will kind of like replace the carol singing that we traditionally do with all of you. And I think it's going to be very joyful, maybe not. We'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, I mean, you'll be able to sing along in your own homes,
Right.
but we will not all be together. But it'll be second best. So I think your family or folks you're in touch with are putting something on.
We are. We are. Yeah, you can see if you can spy me in the video. I don't want to give anything away.
Okay, no
because
secret. All right. I'm still working on persuading my family. Most of them are quite resistant at this point, but you know, hopefully the spirit of Christmas will just overwhelm them. And
if not, you can have Rox bake some cookies.
yeah,
for them.
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Bribe them.
So there's a lot to look forward to, and we wish all of you a really joyful season, actually starting this Sunday, the first of Advent. So light the first candle on the wreath and open the first window on your Advent calendar, and wishing you much joy in that.
Yeah, and let us know what some of your traditions are in the comments below. And of course, like and subscribe.
See you next time.